I'm a little bit in two minds here because I can hear what you're saying, but then I can see that you're dressed as a cat.
I'm a dog,
and
so...
You call yourself a dog.
Woof, yes.
Hello, today I will be making condescending comments about people who think they are animals. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Now, to fight for freedom, we have to relentlessly stand for truth. And I don't think there's a hell of a lot in the world that stands against truth more than identity politics. When you extrapolate identity politics, all you wind up in is a garbage dump full of insanity. You also start there, but the garbage dump gets a fair bit deeper. So the idea that you're a woman if you say you're a woman, cool. Now we've torn down the walls of physics, biology, where now you can just be anything. And we have people who identify as disabled. Some of them are even like cutting limbs off. You have people identifying now also as other species. Because why not? We're not putting the bounds of reality as a restriction on anyone anymore. So if you're a man and say you're a woman, therefore you're a woman, then what if you're a human and just say you're a dog? Cool. You can actually do that if you live in the framework of identity politics. Therefore, in our relentless pursuit of truth and therefore freedom, today we'll be standing for truth, and I might get condescending because that's how I feel about this kind of thing. We also have to ask the question we've asked many times. With mental illness, would you rather have it treated or affirmed? I would dare say affirming any illness rather than treating it is absolutely irresponsible and it's insanity. You got a broken leg. Do you want that treated? I would rather have it affirmed. Yeah, can you break it further? Can you make sure it stays broken? I want this broken leg affirmed. You have cancer. Do you want that affirmed or do you want it treated? I identify as it, so let's affirm this condition. Do you think that's going to be good for you at a physical level or psychological? So before we get to the opening clip that you saw, and there's more to it, where a young lady just, I mean, she really identifies as a dog and she stands for that, which is pretty amusing. Here's a quick clip of someone who also identifies as an animal. This person seems very serious, and you can see here on their TikTok post the pronouns it and he, because that makes sense. So let's take a look at what he has to say about being an animal.
My name is Horace, and I'm a red-tailed hawk.
I doubt the he part real quick. Let's start over.
My name is Horace, and I'm a red-tailed hawk. Inner world, I do have the body of a hawk, but while fronting, I consider myself a therian, because...
So inner world, I have the body of the hawk. But in the outer world, I have a human body. Did you know your imagination and the inner world? It's helpful to distinguish between that inner world and reality on the outside of that inner world.
Because I am in a human body, but my identity is still a hawk. Not all animal alters will identify this way, and I am, in fact, the only animal alter in our system who does identify this way. I am doing my best to come to terms with living in a human body.
Boom! Coming into terms with living in a human body. That's actually part of something all humans go through. You can fight the human body, or you can accept it. With that fork in the road, one's going to have a lot of peace of mind and grace, and the other, you're kind of fighting an uphill battle. Here's more to the opening clip, and this is from the Whatever podcast, and we've reviewed clips of it before. The Whatever podcast, I guess they specialize in promoting degeneracy, having some of the most degenerate people on there from the woke left, and half these people are like OnlyFans people. This one isn't. But here, I'm not totally sure how the podcast works because there's relatively based interviewers surrounded by, let's just say, not based ladies. And we'll take a look at him trying to get to an understanding of how this woman is a dog and how that would look in a relationship. Let's take a look.
Saying that you would like a gentlemanly man, somebody who courts you, takes you on a date, all of these sorts of things.
Absolutely.
I'm a little bit in two minds here because I can hear what you're saying, but then I can see that you're dressed as a cat.
I'm a dog, so...
And you call yourself a dog.
Woof, yes.
Do you think
Nick, could you open that door more?
The dog just barks, so we know it's a dog. Dude, I can't believe this guy couldn't tell the difference between a cat and a dog. What's wrong with him?
Perhaps hindering that a little bit, the fact that you
So I don't deserve respect because I'm dressing like an animal?
You don't. But to his question, does she think it'd be a red flag for a guy being with her, given the fact that she believes she's a dog? I'll give you my answer on that. That's definitely a red flag for a woman. It's a no-go.
Well, I
don't
mean,
deserve to be treated like a person because I'm dressing like an animal?
Hold on a second. Do you think that might be a deterrent for a man who is more traditional if you're dressing like a dog?
No, because I'm not out seeking anything traditional. I was simply reflecting on a college experience that I had.
So you're not seeking that sort of person?
I appreciate that kind of person. I'm not seeking anything specifically. I don't seek people. I don't.
Okay.
I don't think she's seeking anything. Her wheels are spinning. When you have a sense of purpose, you're seeking something.
I'm not.
So when you look at a relationship, are you looking at like a pet owner type relationship, or like two dogs in the relationship, or what's your ideal?
A partner who loves and respects me and sees me as an equal that I am.
But you see yourself as an actual dog, right? You said you like to go play fetch.
Woof, yes.
So how does that tie into your relationship?
When she barks, which no dog says woof, pronounced that way, doesn't it just sound genuine? Like you can tell she's not even forcing the woof. It's just like, oh, that's just her nature. Woof, yes.
Like, what are you looking for if you're a dog?
I'm looking for somebody to throw me a ball and then also say, oh, hey, I appreciate you, bringing in a financial, amount to the situation. I appreciate.
That's amazing that a dog could bring in a financial amount. By the way, her English is almost as good as that of a dog.
You having your own thoughts and theories about the world around you, and not somebody who sees me as an animal. I
want you to know I'm a dog, but I don't want someone who sees me as an animal. You have to see me as a dog. That's how I identify. But don't see me as an animal. Got it. That's very clear now.
I think the issue is that men have a difficult time seeing women in submissive positions without overbearing power toward them. And especially that can lead into like, okay, you see me and a man sees me wearing a dog collar and he's like, oh, I want to tug on that. Are you wearing a collar for me?
Are you saying that the dog thing isn't a sexual fantasy? It's not a kink?
Not in any way.
It is a submissive sexual fantasy?
Are you a Therian?
No.
No, I think
like, do you identify as like other?
May not be a sexual fantasy, but it's a fantasy nonetheless.
That's their mindset. Yeah. So I think that although obviously you look really cute and all of that jazz, there is, like, as you were mentioning, like a sort
That's fact check untrue, by the way. She doesn't look cute and all that jazz.
of cognitive dissonance where it's like you're portraying something that doesn't elicit the type of men that you want.
Yeah,
I think there's
she's also not looking.
I am not actively looking. I talked about
man.
how I'm voluntarily celibate and how that's something that I'm not interested in. So I find the friendships that cross my path in a very similar way to what she was talking about, where, whenever men find out that I'm not interested in sex, they don't want to be friends. I understand why somebody would sexualize me, and then upon, hey, I actually don't like you like that, they wouldn't want to be friends.
It's interesting. Her world, it just makes a lot of sense to me. First off, she's a dog, but she's also not an animal, also not a human, apparently. And she's open to a relationship, but she's celibate. And any guy who wants to have sex with her in a relationship, she's just not into that. She's at least not confused. And real quick here on Libs of TikTok, here's another example. And Libs of TikTok says, mental illness crisis. Hard to argue with that. Here is a person, also presumably pretending they're a dog, eating a big stack of French toast. Proud to be an American in this case. Because, of course, dogs use forks. By the way, this person's a beta because they bypass the butter. Eat more butter. So easy to eat with my dog mask. That's also my real face. No, it's one thing if there's a few anomalies in the world, person here or there that thinks they're a dog, or, for God's sakes, a red-tailed hawk. But the interesting thing is, it's a trend. Now, obviously, people thinking they're dogs versus thinking they're a gender that they're not. The dog thing or animal thing, it's not as popular, but it's the same pattern. And we have to think, if we weren't brainwashing young people to believe that they can hallucinate themselves right into another gender, then would they also not be hallucinating to think they're another species. So I would dare say the gender ideology, it is a great gateway drug to deep psychological degeneracy. Are there in fact many pathological psychological disorders that are acted out because people are trying to get attention in a way that isn't via expressing their genuine self? Is that because their genuine self is cloaked under trauma and pain of unresolved shame? Maybe, and if so, that would need to be addressed. But if we're trying to get attention in really dysfunctional ways, whether it's narcissism or acting like a dog or acting like another gender or Dylan Mulvaney, which by the way, that's also all narcissism as I see it, we might start to realize some of this is rooted in attention-seeking behavior. Not genuine truth. Yeah, I said attention-seeking behavior. Weird. Nonetheless, this is happening more and more in society. It's the same pattern, gender ideology acted out with just different words, different hallucinations. And the more it continues, the more it's our fault. I say that even though you and I aren't participating in it, but the more we just kind of sit back and affirm it, and sometimes affirming it is just saying nothing. When we see the truth is the opposite of what's being expressed, sometimes saying nothing, that's a degree of affirming it. And that's why I say this is collectively our fault as a country and as a world. So nonetheless, I think we can choose to do better. And the more we align our words and actions with our own critical thinking and the discernment of our heart, the more of a better world we are contributing to rather than affirming an absolutely pathological world. With that said, my freedom-loving friends, thank you for watching this video with me. Look forward to seeing you on our next one. But first, here's a special message not brought to you by dogs, but humans. My friend, you've heard me talk about the Wellness Company and their emergency medical kit for a while now, because I love it. And this next product is one I honestly believe every American should have also. Spike support. Use your imagination why. I mean, for crying out loud, with so many previously healthy people experiencing things like myocarditis, blood clots, menstrual irregularities, turbo cancers, and the brand new died suddenly phenomenon, you kind of have to be blind with your head in the sand to not know that something is up. Many trusted experts who have been heavily censored believe the culprit is spike protein from both the you-know-what and the man-made you-know-what else. It's unfortunately linked to all kinds of long-term health issues, and even now Pfizer is admitting that there are problems. So many people, myself included, have been looking for answers on how to stay healthy, and we know those answers aren't going to come from Lord Fauci and folks like that. But truth-seeking doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Drew Pinsky and their team at the Wellness Company have emerged with some answers. There's one question that these doctors get every single day from their patients. How do I detox from the you-know-what and the you-know-what else? And now, thanks to the Wellness Company, there's actually something we can do. Spike Support is a unique blend of natural nutrients designed to help dissolve the spike protein in your body so you can stop waiting for the other shoe to drop and start feeling like yourself again. Reclaim your health at twc.health/JPReacts and use the code JPReacts for 15% off. I believe in this fight for truth and medical freedom, you owe it to yourself and your family to take back control of your health.